Salut everyone and Happy New Year! When you'll be watching this, it'll be 2021 at least, because you could definitely still come back to this video and watch it in the future, which would be very exciting. So please comment if you're watching this in 2024. Oh, that'd be incredible. Yeah, Happy New Year to you. It is New Year's Eve while I'm recording this, and it's Friday. That's when I usually post my videos, but I'm trying to take my own schedule not so seriously. It's not a schedule. But I figured it'd be nice to not post this on New Year's Eve when people are probably busy celebrating. I hope there's something you have to celebrate about this year or past year. And if not, then I hope that you can look forward to the new year and find something to celebrate about that. And just remember to be safe. It's not like I'm doing anything specifically. I'm not really celebrating. I'm just playing a board game, which is something I really like to do. So that's nice. That's a good way to start a new year. Something maybe ordinary that you still really like to do. So yeah, I hope you'll find something like that to do. But when you're listening to this, it'll all have already happened. So I don't want to reflect on this past year too much, but while I've been away, I've not posted a video last week. I don't know if you've noticed. But yeah, while I've been away, I've hit the small but precious milestone of 5,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for that. Welcome to everybody who's new around here. I'm very grateful to have you here. It's really weird to suddenly think about this whole thing. Like this little project just didn't require any thought so far. I've just kind of done it, and now that I've taken that week off, I've realized that I really spent a lot of time doing this, and I might have to figure something out in the new year of how I want to continue this, but we'll see. And it's just, yeah, it feels a little weird. I'm sure it's not particularly interesting to you as a viewer, but yeah, it feels crazy, you know? I just, not even 2 weeks ago, I hit 4,000 subscribers, and 2 weeks before that, 3,000. So that feels like so little time to adjust. I don't even know what to adjust to, because nothing's really changing except maybe pressure. But enough of that. Let's talk about this house. That's what you're here for. This is a townhouse, and it is supposed to be in Berlin. I've used many of the objects from Felix's now finished Berlin set, which has not gotten enough appreciation from me so far. It has in heart, but it hasn't in video form. So it was so much fun to do this. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, but I felt like it was quite the big feat, and this video is very long, so I guess I was right about that. Those exterior windows that you've been seeing that I would consider the eye-catchers of this building are also from his old Berlin set. I don't even know, it was back when he his sets didn't have proper names or things weren't released in sets, but they are called Berlin, just like that entrance door, which is gorgeous, by the way. And what else is there? I think there's another architectural detail that's also called Berlin, but yeah, they were released in a kind of chaotic way. But yeah, those are years old. Oh God, is that even true? I think so. They must be years old. So I did not get to use his new windows, which are also gorgeous. So I'm a little bit sad about that. But if you remember, I exchanged the default apartment windows for my latest apartment build with those. So I did get to use them, just not in the traditional way. And I'm also planning on using them still in the future. I just didn't want to combine them with these ones. I tried using these in the front and then the new ones in the back, but it looked kind of weird. Did not want to do that, so I didn't. But yeah, I still got to use lots of his other beautiful architectural details. So you've probably spotted the London cornerstones and the Paris balconies, which are beautiful, and they make this front facade look so romantic and dreamy, and I love it. It looks so pretty in the evening light. It gives it this very warm, almost pinkish tone. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. Also, this lot is so beautiful, and it's in Willow Creek. I was thinking about building this in Newcrest, obviously, because that's where I've started multiple little neighborhoods by now. There's that one on the top left corner of the map. I started that as a townhouse neighborhood when I did all my Brooklyn inspired, or I guess more generally speaking, New York inspired townhouses. And then I put the Acacia townhouse there, which is this very white one, which was also inspired by, I'm not sure if it was Berlin or some other town in Germany. So I'm just gonna say it was inspired by a German townhouse as well. I don't think it looked specifically German, but that's just some background information. So it would theoretically have made sense for this to be there as well, but the one lot that is left in that neighborhood is very big. It's a 30 by 40, or is it even bigger? I'm not sure. But it's that corner lot. And I haven't figured out a way yet in my head how to properly use that lot in a way that looks good and like uses the potential of a corner lot, you know? I feel like it would have to be multiple townhouses next to each other, and that's something I can't do at the moment, time-wise. And also, I've put Harry's dream home, I think is what she called it, so that house that she built last month. I've put that there, and it looks beautiful. It somehow does capture the same vibe. At least that's what I feel like. I think as long as you use Harry's and Felix's content, everything kind of goes together. Like it makes it very easy to mix certain styles. And that looks gorgeous on that lot. And it's not a townhouse per se. It is a townhouse, isn't it? Well, it is a townhouse in the traditional sense of the word. As in it being opposed to a house in the countryside. but it's not the type of townhouse that I think about when I think townhouse, which is more of a Paris, New York, I guess Berlin type of townhouse that traditionally is filled with apartments and inhabited by multiple households. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I've put that there and it looks gorgeous, and I can't really bring myself to remove it from that lot and put something else there that I'm not even sure of what it would be, as I said. So that's my current trouble with that specific neighborhood. And then I've also started another neighborhood in Newcrest, which is the one that has the converted gas station, which I love. I love that build. Very proud of that one. And it has that very overgrown Japanese-inspired townhouse next to it. And this just didn't fit with the vibe that I was going for with this one. This is very much the typical historical townhouse with a modern interior. I guess the interior doesn't even matter if you're just looking at the neighborhood, but yeah, just the vibe of the townhouse didn't fit that neighborhood. So I was looking for somewhere else to put this, and I'm struggling with the worlds in general. Like I strongly feel that there is too little variety in The Sims 4 worlds, and I know that this is not like a hot take. Lots of people feel that way. But I guess I built a ridiculous amount of townhouses, but you guys seem to really like them. So, and I really like them, so that's why I do it. But yeah, I figured I'd just open up a new neighborhood of townhouses. I've been wanting to build a Dutch townhouse as well, and I'm also not sure if that would have fit with the Newcrest neighborhood. Although I guess those were theoretically, like the Brooklyn townhouses were theoretically inspired by Dutch architecture because the Dutch colonized that area of North America. So it should go together, shouldn't it? I don't know, maybe it's just changed. Maybe it actually also goes together and it's just a me. But however, I was thinking it'd be nice to open up a new area for townhouses, and I guess this particular level of detailing, architectural detailing, maybe that's it, because the brownstones I've built are simpler. Like the facade looks a little simpler, and this has way more decoration, like European historical detailing. So this is in Willow Creek, and I completely forgot this neighborhood existed. To be frank, I often forget all of the base game worlds exist in general. And Willow Creek is actually really pretty and has really pretty lighting, which is most of what I look for in a good Sims 4 world. The environment, like plans-wise, does not really make sense for Germany or the Netherlands or anywhere where there's a winter. There's just lots of palm trees. But I accepted that fate for the good lighting and the pretty water. Like this neighborhood, I definitely was not even aware that existed up until I started building on this lot. I've never looked at it, and I don't know, yeah, it's just I'm not doing right by the base game worlds, or at least Willow Creek. So I think this is actually a really cute little street that we have there, and it's right next to the water. It has some pretty views. Admittedly, this is probably also the best lot, as it's right next to those two waterways, or actually I think that there's water behind right behind this garden, but that might be more of a stream than like a canal. But it's still very cute, and it's just nice to have a lot that's not enclosed by two other townhouses that probably block the light. Although this doesn't even have any windows to the right and the left side. It's just got windows at the front and the back. Because also what this was inspired by it's just one part of a row of townhouses. And I so wish we could do that in The Sims. I know you've probably heard this a billion times, but it would just make things look so much more realistic for these European towns. I would love that. And also it works for like the first 2 townhouses or whatever you do, where you can make up some kind of weird decoration for the sides of the building that would usually just be, they wouldn't even be bare, they just wouldn't exist because that's where the next house would start. But yeah, after those first 2, it's kind of just like a matter of repeating chimneys. That's my go-to, is just put a big ass chimney there, which kind of makes sense because that's like theoretically where chimneys would be located, even when it's a row of townhouses. Like you still run them between the houses, I'm pretty sure. So that's fine, but then you still have another side. But I was really happy with this one. I just used some of the, I think they're not a wall decoration, they're in paintings, I'm pretty sure. And they're like, it's not the cracks in the wall, it's the scratches, which are from cats and dogs potentially, and a strangeable debug. Well, I guess it's a painting officially, but it's just a stain. And I love putting those everywhere over my builds, as you probably know, and it just made this look way better, and it gave that wall, which is otherwise empty, some interesting texture. And also it would make sense because lots of Berlin houses were destroyed in the Second World War. So if you find a lone townhouse like this, it's quite probable that the rest of that block has been destroyed by a bomb. So it makes sense for there to be some scratches and for it to look a little roughed up. But yeah, it's also just a nice way to add some texture, to be honest. But I have talked right over this garden. Oh no, I really have. I've designed this whole place with an architect in mind. So this downstairs, what you're seeing right now, is actually an office for an architecture firm, which was obviously inspired by Felix's Berlin set, as I wanted to showcase those items, and also they're just so darn beautiful. And it also kind of just felt right. It felt like a good story. So as this is the office, I thought it was, or I was imagining a young, successful couple who maybe just started their own architecture firm together, and they're already very successful. And they bought this place and renovated it, as that's their passion. And they designed it so that they could work here and then have the upper levels for their family life. It has one primary bedroom and then a kid's bedroom, but both of those are an entire story, like each. An entire story each of this home, and it's luxurious, I can tell you that, especially with that huge garden. Like, it's so big. But yeah, I designed it in a way so that they could have other, I don't know, interns or people that work in that firm with them, and they wouldn't like have to walk through the actual like family area, and they have this really big space down here to work together, and there's gonna be a kitchen, like an office kitchen across from this desk. And then they also have all that garden area. I wanted to ask this, the garden is only accessible through this room, the office, but you know, I design those places in my dream world and everything works exactly the way I want like the world to work. So this is the perfect company, this architecture firm. They are all best friends. They love having the kids run through this room to get to the garden, and the doors are just wide open in the summertime. Everyone's really kind and happy, and there's just the perfect amount of hierarchy, and it's my dream workplace. So that's why I figured it'd be okay. I'm pretty sure none of you actually play like that, because I'm not sure if that'd be fun. A good story probably needs some spice, but yeah, this is escapism, I guess. So this is the office kitchen that I was talking about. I separated it from the rest of, like, from this working area with the Berlin curtains, which I love so much. I think they came with the first part of the set, and I somehow managed to not use them yet. Not voluntarily, mind you, because they are gorgeous. Like, look at them. They look so 3D. I mean, they are, but they just, the texture is perfect. Everything's perfect about them. The colors are great. There's a few that have this kind of ombre look to them. My mouth is watering for some reason when I think about them. I think they're so pretty, I want to eat them. But I got to use them to split this room. And they were obviously too big because I've used a platform. So they come in a small, medium, and tall size, but I used a 3 or 4 step platform. So none of those would fit, and I used the tool mod to get the correct size, and I actually had to go in later off camera to change those because they look correct right now because we're looking from above. But you know how there's this weird thing where the ceiling apparently does have a width to it in The Sims, but you can't see it from above, you can only see it from below. So they're too tall right now. You can't see the curtain rail. Oh, it's not a rail, it's a whatever is holding the curtains. You can't see that from below, so screenshots looked off. So I did fix that later. And if you're wondering what the hell's going on right now, this is the washroom or the half bath that is accessible to everyone working in the office. It's just the downstairs half bath. And that is one of the 2 bathrooms of the 4 bathrooms that this house has in total, which is a lot of bathrooms. I just want to point that out. So I recorded 2 of those, and as these people are artists and I wanted this to look like it could belong to architects who had renovated this themselves. I wanted that toilet to be a little special. I also figured they might have clients over in this office, or like, yeah, they would definitely have clients over in this office, which is also why there's that big meeting table outside, because that'd just be lovely. Like, if I was a client of an architecture firm, that's where I wanted to have my businessy talks. So I wanted this entire house, but especially the working and like guest, or like guest as in client area, to reflect who lives there and what these people do, and that this is the house of architects. And this entire build was supposed to be simple in a way that supports the architecture. Like, this is an historical building, and these people would appreciate that and try to put the spotlight on that fact. So for example, I figured they would have made an effort to keep as much of the original architectural detailing in the interior as they could, like from the point they bought this. It probably would have been renovated before, as these buildings are, you know, old. And they probably would have had at least a few owners over the years. So in a few of the rooms, there's still some of the original decorative crown molding, and most of the walls in this entire house are plain and white, as to not take away from the architecture itself. I imagine that be important for the people who renovated this place. Where was I originally going with this? The downstairs toilet. So that downstairs half bath follows that same scheme. I would call it rather minimalist. It has that crown molding, which is beautiful and really elevates that space. But yeah, I wanted something to be interesting, impressive, artistic about that bathroom. So I put the architectural model that is part of the Berlin clutter items. I put that there on the wall as an art installment that shows what they do at the same time. And I did go in live view mode, camera mode, and made sure that you wouldn't hit your head on it when you got up from the toilet or walked into the room. But we have moved on to the upstairs in the meantime, and I've been talking right over the living room, which is my favorite room in this entire house. And we are now in the kitchen, which is also almost done. You might have seen that I switched up the chairs halfway through. The Kupfergraben chairs would have definitely been the more like designy, expensive, artsy, maybe the more logical option, but I really wanted to warm this up a bit, as there's supposed to be a child living here, and I wanted this to still feel welcoming and cozy as a family home as well, next to it being a well-designed place for architects. So I swapped those out for the tiny travelers director's chairs, which are just a little more cozy in this specific setting. And I made sure to put in some warmer woods to make this feel like a homely place where you could, I don't know, bake cookies with the kid. Apart from that, I've used a lot of the brownstone kitchen for this kitchen and pantry design, mostly because of that gorgeous kitchen island. It was just the perfect, like, architectural statement piece. I actually wanted to do an entirely different kitchen. Like, I had a very specific kitchen in mind. I was inspired by a photo from this place that designs kitchens. And it was entirely terrazzo. Like, it looked a little insane. It was very busy and a little weird and just a lot on the eyes, obviously. But I loved it for this specific, like, overall idea of this townhouse. And it would have been awesome, and I was so sure that I had all the things I would have needed to build that. I thought that Felix's Florence backsplash tile thingy had a terrazzo swatch. I was so sure of it, but alas, it did not. And also, I was thinking that the kitchen had a terrazzo swatch that was more vibrant, which it doesn't. And in general, I somehow thought there were way more terrazzo swatches than there apparently are in Harry's and Felix's CC. I might have gotten that idea from the Brutalist set, but even that one, which has lots of beautiful terrazzo swatches, I still thought it had more. Specifically, I thought the wallpaper had some, but that only comes in the concrete options, and I was very confused and stumped because I couldn't fulfill my kitchen dreams. But I'm very happy with how the kitchen came out now, and the brownstone kitchen island also has one very pretty terrazzo swatch. It's not as vibrant, like it's very far from what I had originally planned, but it still brought some of that gorgeous controlled chaos into the kitchen that I was dreaming of. But we've moved on to the second story, which is where the primary bedroom is located. It's just a whole suite, and that is the entire floor, which would also have been renovated completely. So this layout is quite modern. This is the walk-in closet, and then there's an open part of the bathroom and a closed part of the bathroom, which is the other bathroom that I recorded for this speed build. So this is big. It's very luxurious. It's a huge closet, but as impressive as that downstairs toilet for the clients is, the fashion of the architects should be as well. Overall in this build, I've also used a lot of Harry's spoon set, and I've done that in this walk-in closet as well. It's so nice to be able to use those dream home decorator items like the hanging clothes and the shoes in a way that makes sense and actually looks good. I'm very grateful for that. In this one, I haven't used the spoons cabinetry that works as a closet on its own. I've combined it with the spoons counters, which I've used in the office kitchen downstairs. They just have a very architectural feeling to it with those nice wooden borders. I don't know, it just felt exactly right for this. So just imagine that's just more storage, just closed storage. And I was really glad that I was able to bring that back in from downstairs into this bedroom as well. Those window treatments are really buggy, by the way. I'm quite sure they will disappear when you place the slot. They did for me every single time. Don't know why that happens, but you might have to put them back in. Just a heads up. But I still really enjoyed this overall design. I hope you do too. It's a little different from my usual bathrooms, even the modern ones. I really like this split between the closed and open areas, and how, by extension, the bathtub is kind of in the bedroom itself, or at least it feels like it to me, but not entirely. And I really like that, because having a tub in the bedroom just feels so luxurious and so like vacation. But also, if this was real life, I would probably feel terrible if I didn't clean that bathtub every single day and then I had to look at it from the bed. I feel like that'd probably be an annoying reminder of household chores. So that's kind of a cool solution, because you get the benefits, the spa-like feeling, but none of the disadvantages of having to look at a tub in your bedroom all the time. Like, it's just half visible, which is cool. If you hadn't guessed, this is the kid's bedroom. It's really big, which is very nice. Like, this is an epic kid's bedroom. I would have loved this as a child. I made sure to put in lots of little nooks for like hiding and playing and all the fun things. this is this platform area behind the bed. I thought that was really, really cozy and a nice use of that window. I'm also gonna remove that one wall at the bottom of the bed. I originally planned to put a window in there so that the light could still get through and it was kind of a little more of a separate area, but I couldn't find the right window for it, and it still looks very cute without that wall, and that platform area is just so cool. I'm very proud of that. And it's usable. It is for kids. I don't think adults can go there, but why would they? So this should be playable. Also, talking of things that I'm proud of, I love this floor. I'm gonna have to say that so that you recognize it as the work of art that it is. You know, I love that floor in its usual form anyways. It's the Get Famous Western style floor. It's my favorite wooden floor, and I'd say floor in the game in general by far. It's just perfect. And for this house, I've alternated the directions that each floor tile goes in, and that makes it so special. And it's honestly so perfect. Like, it captured that historical European, Northern European townhouse vibe perfectly for me. I'm really, really happy with that, and you're probably gonna see a lot more of that. So I really hope you like it too, or you are gonna have to suffer. Also, I thought this was really cute to have this little town play area, because I imagine the architect parents would maybe build one of those every year for the kid, or with the kid if it was old enough. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you. See you next time. Bye bye.